Oh, yes. Feels good to be back in the fragrance dungeon. Let's move some of that aside because we need to make room for Rochas L'Homme Aromatic Touch. So this is the brand new 2022 release for Rochas L'Homme. Just not even focusing because it's so good potentially, right? You guys, it's a green box. Rochas L'Homme, the original. I really like that one a lot. It's one that grew on me. When I first got it in, I was kind of wishy-washy on it. Thought it smelled nice, you know, but it just didn't really catch me with that much of a kind of a wow factor right off the bat. But over time, as I continued to wear it and smell it, there's something about it just changed for me. And I think another big factor to that was the price finally coming down. Now you can get Rochas L'Homme for like 30 bucks for 100 milliliter and testers for a bit less than that. That is crazy value. That stuff packs a huge punch. And so, of course, when this one was announced and I saw the note breakdown initially, I was super pumped up for it. The first flanker in the line, like I said, just came out. I ended up snagging this one from FragranceNet just a little while ago, right before we left on our last trip. They only had a few in stock, I think like 5 or 6. I did a community post. A few of you guys were able to pick one up as well. And then it was sold out, right? Luckily, I was able to snag mine. So, you know, it'll probably come back in stock at some point in the future, I would say. But believe it or not, that's where I got it. And I think FragranceNet, from what I've seen, is one of the first places to actually stock this one brand new right off the shelves, which is kind of rare for discounters, especially FragranceNet. They usually take a little while to get new stuff. I don't even think this one has hit retailers yet. So I will link this down below, but it may not be in stock, but it will be at some point, I'm sure. I think I also got it for like $35 for 100 mil, which again is a really impressive price for something brand new, like literally brand new. So here is the bottle. We have Aromatic Touch, L'Homme Aromatic Touch. So the lighting and everything is going to make this tricky, but it has a deep green hue to it. Similar to the bottle originally, the blue kind of tint, this one has a green tint, obviously. Pictures will kind of get that across better. It really does not look at all like what it looks in person here, but it does look very sharp. Presentation on these is impressive. It's got some heft to it. The cap does click into place. It looks classy, and that's what I like about it. This one is an eau de toilette. We'll go ahead and get this one on skin here. One thing I do find funny is they're calling this Aromatic Touch when the original is already like super aromatic. So, you know, that's cool. Great atomizer on these. And, oh yeah, that's nice. I really like that. So you get this fruity blast in the opening. One thing that I did see was there's a pineapple note. There's also apple. And so, of course, initially with the pineapple, you get people saying Cretaventus, you know, question mark, Cretaventus. And no, this is not Cretaventus. That's apparent right when you first spray this one on. But it is fruity when it first opens up, which is cool. The pineapple kind of gives off a sweeter fruitiness, and the apple is almost more of like a green sour apple here in this application. I'm also getting a good amount of patchouli in here, and it's not really like a chocolatey dark variety of patchouli. It's a more, dare I say, aromatic patchouli note. Kind of just a general fresher patchouli, which is pretty nice. Woods, good amount of woods. Same with the original L'Homme by Rochas. Very woods heavy here on these fragrances. I believe they have sandalwood and cedarwood listed for this one. I'm getting more sandalwood right now, more of a softer, creamy wood. But, you know, I think as it dries down, the cedarwood, the dry spiciness will start to come into fruition a little bit more. So we will take a look at the note breakdown. We've got olibanum, pineapple, and apple up top. We have patchouli and geranium in the mid, and then they give us ambroxan, sandalwood, and cedarwood in the base. So the things that really did catch my eye there mainly was the olibanum, kind of alluding to something that maybe would be a little bit more smoky and maybe slightly resinous. And when I smell this one, I do get something similar to that. Not too strong, right? Again, initially, right off the first spray, mostly the fruits. But, you know, as it's starting to dry down, getting a little bit of the geranium coming into play with like the patchouli and the woods. just giving it kind of a green touch. You know, typically that's what geranium will do. In some applications, it'll even be a little bit minty smelling, right? Not so much minty here, but green. Same with the patchouli, giving it a green smell, kind of matching the coloration of the bottle here. Ambroxan, right? That's no shock. It's used in so many men's fragrances. And I guess just to level with everybody, no, this doesn't smell like any sort of blue ambroxan fragrance at all. Okay, so we'll just get that out of the way, because I know when you see ambroxan, some people may be inclined to think that, and I don't blame you one bit. I mean, that we're so used to seeing these blue fragrances, and we immediately associate ambroxan with blue shower gel, but this is not that. Completely different sense. One thing I'm also noticing about this one right now is that I'm not really drawing any comparisons to anything else, or at least outside of the line. Now, can I tell that this is a Rochas L'Homme flanker? I can a little bit. You know, it is in that same genre, kind of that same ballpark. Now, they still are a good ways different. So there's not going to be any redundancy within the line here. I think that's cool, and I think that's something that is important, especially nowadays with flankers. There's so many fragrances in general, but especially flankers, that a lot of people don't want to waste their time with redundancy. So this is not something that will be redundant. But even to build on that further, it doesn't really smell like any other designer or niche fragrance that I have or that I've smelled, which I also think is pretty cool. One thing that I did find with L'Homme by Rochas L'Homme, whatever you want to call it, the original, is that it kind of had a little bit of a similarity to Dolce & Gabbana K, but way better and much more refined. So, you know, I can't remember for sure which one came first in that instance, but I do know that with this one here, it's really kind of standing on its own. You know, this is the type of thing that is kind of striving to be a little bit different. You know, something that is not going to be your mainstream, typical cookie cutter designer release that they're pumping out of these factories left and right through all these brands just to put something out, right? And I like a lot of those cookie cutter releases. I do. You know, all the mass pleasers, the generic ones, I wear them. They get usage by me. They're featured on my channel for a reason. But at the end of the day, as fragrance enthusiasts, you know, we do appreciate something that takes it a step further in some instances. Sometimes we want something a little bit different, and that's where this one will shine. I think it's really well put together. You know, the quality has been amazing so far. Right off the opening, smooth, nothing synthetic or sharp about it, which is admirable, especially considering the price point. Again, I have to hammer that home. I know I talk about that a lot. But, you know, I got this for, again, what, $35? It's brand new already. Eventually, it'll probably fall down to about the $30 range, just like the original after some time. That is just shocking. Like Rochas, they pump out some really, really solid stuff. Mustache Eau de Parfum, another great one, a little bit more expensive, but still great. But I mean, the bang for your buck that you get with the original and now with this one is something to talk about for sure. I think if you're maybe someone newer to collecting, or not even newer, but you're approaching this hobby with a budget in mind, then Rochas is a brand you really need to look into. And I know for me, I want to dive in a little bit further as well. So I'm going to have to test this one further, get into the Drydown, see how it wears in there, see what the performance is going to be like. This one is also an eau de toilette, just like the original. So, you know, we'll see how it does. The original does pretty good on my skin. I would imagine that this one would as well, especially with stuff like olibanum, cedarwood, sandalwood, patchouli, and even ambroxan, right? There's a lot of dense note in this fragrance to where if it's done right, I think it'll last. You know, if you could get 6, 7, 8 hours or more out of this one, you're really doing good. I mean, 6 to 7 for a $30 fragrance, that's good. I don't care what anyone says. You know, that is really, really solid, because you don't even know how many fragrances I have in that price range, in this price range, that maybe won't even make it to 4. This is going to be a more moderate projector as well, not going to be too loud, which I would expect. You know, these fragrances here are a bit more kind of tasteful, a bit more gentlemanly, and I think they do better with some softer projection. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. Rochas L'Homme Aromatic Touch. I was super excited for this one. I'm glad I was able to get one so I could share my thoughts with you guys. It'll come back in stock at some point, if not already. Just be on the lookout. Just be on the lookout for my community tab, honestly. That's where I post deals like this and other amazing deals just about on a daily basis. If you want to save some money, but also spend some money to save some money on some good fragrance deals, then get subscribed. Check the community tab on a daily basis. Usually around 9 or 10 in the morning I'll start posting, and then throughout the day, if good deals are up, they're being posted. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.